Well, I think the problem is that there's been a proposal to put up a large housing development very close to the venue, and their concern is that that's going to lead to conflict with future residents of the development. Some of the flats and windows of the flats are going to be very close to outdoor areas of Kitchen Street, and that's going to lead, they fear, to people reporting them to environmental health, complaining about the noise, and a tightening of the restrictions on their licence and on their planning permission. So that would then have an impact on the venue. It would tighten up whether they're able to run.
My name's Johan Roberts. I'm from London, and I'm one of the managers of Kitchen Street. It's a mixed-use event space and nightclub. So we got the building in August 2013, but then we were kind of just messing around with the building for about a year, and then we established, I mean, we always called it Kitchen Street, but we started running it as a business about a year later, September 2014. So yeah, property prices were cheap. It was reasonably accessible in terms of being pretty close to the city centre. I think there's definitely people who would be supportive of what we're doing, we spoke to. Unfortunately, it seems like the people who have got the power in the council at the moment, the loudest, strongest voices, don't really support us against, certainly when compared to large developers who operate in the city.
As a member of the council, one of the things I do is attend planning committee. And when this item came to planning, I spoke against the development in support of the club. I was talking about the need for more acoustic insulation, better glazing, a better ventilation system to ensure that future residents weren't impacted by the activities at the club.
One of the reasons that clubs are shut down is it's not just developers, it's not just councils, being difficult, but it's also because people at the moment like to go clubbing in a different way.
Nighttime Industries Association is an organisation set up to protect, support and celebrate UK night culture. The reason that the NTIA was created was because of the ongoing closures of venues across the UK. We're created by venue owners, live music, venue promoters, all who have a shared interest in the nighttime economy. There have been many issues over the last 5 to 10 years, and the directors felt that not enough was being done by the industry to help protect, support and celebrate UK night culture.
I know for sure that people will want to go out and dance and have a good time and socialise with other people. And I think it's really important for us as human beings that we don't spend all our lives, living vicariously through social media and watching shit on YouTube, and we should be doing it for ourselves. I'd like to think that we won't. I'd like to think that the future generations will put just as much of a value in going out and, going to clubs and dancing and having a drink and so on as we do. I feel like that's been demonstrated by history.
Club culture is really important to society in general. It's where people meet, it's where they fall in love, it's where they communicate with each other, it's where they get to hang out with their friends. Night culture is a place where when people have a busy day in the office and they work hard, they have places to relax and enjoy themselves and be creative. In any city, having a thriving nighttime industry is linked with having a big creative industry. If you look at industries like fashion, media, art, all of those industries are linked to nighttime. And if you don't have a thriving nighttime industry, then those other industries fail to a certain extent. So it's a really important part of UK business.
People who are behind the Casimir, some of the most creative minds in the country, and undoubtedly they're really, really great at what they do. For Cream, it was a bit before my time. Did work there a bit on a few shows, but obviously Cream is sort of the first sort of mega club in the UK. Well, one of the first, I suppose. Cream and the Hacienda were the first two really big ones, and to lose an institution like that is really sad, but also times change and things need to go on. I think people are more angry about the fact that it's been lost to just apartments and flats and that kind of thing, and rather than something else which is a creative space where they can do something similar. But as I say, time has moved on, and as does dance music and that kind of thing. But it is sad, but you go, what are you going to do?
If you were a business owner and you could make more money from turning your club into apartments, why wouldn't you do it? It's also a lot riskier now because the police are clamping down more. It's easier for you to lose your license. And if you were an investor and you had a couple of $1 million to drop on a nightclub, would you want to risk that if you could get closed down tomorrow? It doesn't really make any sense. If your venue had a problem and you were going to get shut down, why would you want to risk all your money? So it's a very risky industry, and it's not particularly favourable to entrepreneurs right now.
If you think about clubs and venues and nightlife as a bubble in a piece of wallpaper, if you press in the centre of that bubble, if you close down venues in the inner city, the air will just float somewhere else and just spread out across the wallpaper. So people will always want to go out and go clubbing. And what happens is that people find different ways in different venues. You shut down the clubs in the city centre, and it starts moving out to the outskirts, to the formerly industrial areas, to the places where nobody's building property.
The nighttime industry will always evolve. If people can't party at night, they'll naturally go to illegal raves or squat parties, and as an organisation we don't want to see that happen. One of the great things about nighttime industry is it lets people party and enjoy themselves in a safe environment. As soon as you make that illegal or make it impossible for them to do that, they're going to go to illegal raves which are unsafe and don't have good security. So I think it's really important to sort of manage that, and I think we need to have some progressive, more evolved ways of managing that process.
Unless people get off their arses and go to meetings and write letters and really get stuck in, the media is pretty powerless.
On a personal level, I met all my best friends out partying and socialising. It's a place for our artists to perform. Where would our music industry be without a thriving nighttime industry? Born Slippy, the Underworld track, was the opening track to the Olympics. Our cultural heritage of nighttime is huge.
I don't think without changing the way our economy works, I don't think this trend can be stopped. I don't think you can stop it with rules or petitions or complaining on Facebook. It's worth fighting for these things. If it's a matter of politics and not a matter of just raw economics, then if enough people give a shit, if enough people support these clubs, enough people go to them, if enough people who are maybe a little bit older and in positions to do something but don't go out clubbing so much, if they can remember how important those places were to them when they were young, and use their influence, then it's not inevitable. These things can be fought.
We've got to be realistic. If it's really likely we're going to get noise complaints, we need to. Well, the next step is to talk to the council and see if that happens. How will they support us? Now, so far they've sort of said, "Oh yeah, don't worry, we'll be on your side if it happens," but we can't really take them at their word for it. So it might just be a case of okay, the development's going to take a year to build. People are going to move in there. Within 6 months, probably noise complaints might reach a certain level where we're going to be told, you've got to close at this time, or you've got to turn the sound down to this level. We can't really do either of them because we're in competition with places open till a certain time, and also people don't really want to go out. to places like this often before midnight, you know. And you can't just say, oh no, you've got to be in here at 10 and out at 2 when people like to go out at midnight and back at 4. So we might just decide, right, we'll just close it in 2 years and we'll have a clear time frame, and that'll be good for all the staff and everything like that, that we can, you know, so we can develop an exit plan basically. Well, it'd be a shame, because I mean, we do it because we love it, do you know what I mean? So it'd be a shame for us, we love doing this. And yeah, just gutting really when you like put loads of work into doing something.
I think the nighttime economy that we see in the Baltic area is especially important to Liverpool because they're unusual places. They're not run-of-the-mill bars. We're seeing people bringing disused warehouses back into use in incredibly creative ways, making new venues that are very distinctive and very exciting, and making Liverpool a more interesting city. So that's why I'm so passionate about defending these venues and sticking up for the Baltic area.
All I know is that it's really important that we keep an eye on it and that we fight for it. And wherever we see like an application against that club you mentioned in Liverpool, that people get behind it and don't just grouse about on Facebook, but actually do something. They start writing to the councillors. They start making the case that nightlife is a hugely important part of the economy and part of our culture, and is one of the things that Britain could be rightly proud of. One of the few things that Britain can be rightly proud of on a world scale.
It just goes to show that the silent majority are the people that want to go out and have fun, enjoy themselves. And I think it's something close to everyone's heart, so I think it's worth fighting for.